I'm not sure if you can. Oh, there. I think I'm live. Hey, are you guys there? Tap, tap, tap. Is this thing on? Put a thumbs up if you are. I know there's a little bit of a delay, but I want to make sure that we're off to the races. I see Michael just got on. Hello from Tulsa. Tulsa. I love that. Awesome. Hi, Robert. Thank you. So you guys can hear me okay? Yeah, I think so. Greetings, everyone. Songs and covers. Hello. Great. Oh, thank you. Oh, all over the place. Thank you. Florida and Oklahoma and all that stuff. So, oh, New York City. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you and happy Thursday. How you guys doing out there? I feel like I haven't seen you guys in, well, ever really in real life, but we haven't done this for a while for Backstage, and I'm excited to be back and talking to you about voiceover. And I hope you guys are having a great Thursday. Anybody post anything really funny yet? Like a flashback? If you go on my Instagram, you'll see my last Thursdays. It's the classic haircut. That's all I can say of your childhood. And it's not Rachel and Ross, and it's not Farrah Fawcett. So I'm not. That's no. So anyway, but if you're interested, go to my Instagram, Laurie Burke Productions, and let me know if you had the same haircut. Anyway, beside the point, I'm going totally off track already. My name is Laurie Burke, if you don't know me already, and I'm a voiceover artist, obviously, as well as an actor, singer, host. I've done host for 8 years. I was, done films and TV and voiceover stuff. You can go to my website, laurieburke.com, and see what I've done if you're wondering if you should be listening to me. I appreciate you being here anyway. But yeah, that's pretty much about me. So I've done literally thousands of voiceovers, thousands in all different avenues. And I've been doing this again, 15 to 20 years. And I have a few things to say of what you need for a voiceover career. And when I really thought about this, there's just a lot of things I didn't really quite realize until I got into it, what you would really need. These are just 5 of them. Obviously, there's more than that, right? There always is. And I'll take your questions at the end for sure. But thank you everybody for saying hello. Hello from LA. Oh, the Bahamas. My God, you know what? We could just, since we're all staying in, we could like just travel just by looking at this whole feed, like all the chat and just, I don't know, put, like start singing songs from every place. Indiana, New York again, Texas. Great. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Ricky. You look very nice. Ricky, I'm sure you look very nice too. So thank you very much. And thank you all for being here. So I'm just going to dive right in, I think, right? So one of the first things that you need to know, or that you need for a voiceover career, is the knowledge of what it really is. And I do think, I know that most of the people here are very educated and very interested in creativity in the arts, and they're already actors and singers and dancers and this and that. So you have a feeling of what it is and that lifestyle. But the lifestyle really is a little bit different than anything else. It's definitely daily life changes and your schedule changes every day. Let's say you wake up and you have, 5 voiceover auditions, right, that are due. And then maybe in the afternoon, you get some more that are due the next day. So you've got to kind of block your time. And maybe I'll do a video on that, of how to really block your time for these sort of things, especially if you're also acting or you're also singing or you're also, you're doing home tapes now, home videos, not tapes, but home videos now or anything like that. Then you really have to realize that there's not only the recording of this, but the editing of it, the getting back and forth with the client. A lot of times you have a client, or at least in my case, and what I suggest for most, to not just go through your agent, but to have your own clientele and your own businesses. I've been lucky enough to work with for a long, long, long time, over and over again. And I'm so grateful for that, because that just means, hopefully they like me and I like them and we work together wonderfully. Sometimes they need things right away. So that means that, you have your studio and you have it all set up, and you got to set that up in a way that's comfortable for you to go in. Yesterday, I've been working on a voiceover for a really well-known music studio, recording studio in San Francisco, and they had a last minute change. Something was different in the script than what I had recorded, but they were already in and cutting it together, and they needed it like in an hour. Now it's easy to say, no, I can't do that because this and that, but this is a client I really like, and I love working with them, and it's music. So of course, and so I had to drop everything, go in, re-record it, check with them to make sure that they received it okay. There's a lot of things that are in this wheel that you might not even think of. Now, some of you will only work with agents. This is going to go with how deeply you want to go into the industry, right? So maybe you'll only go to your agent, and that leads into number 2. What are your goals? Why do you want to do this? What are your goals in this, right? You can't really reach the top unless you can define the top, right? And you can't get to where you're going unless you know how to get there, right? Which, usually a coach can help you with. Obviously, I believe in coaching, as you all know from watching me, if you've seen this before, that I coach. But you also need to know where you want to go, right? What do you want to do with this? Do you want to just do it kind of as a side hustle thing to acting? Do you want to do this full time? Do you want to, how many hours do you want to devote to this, on a daily basis? Do you want to travel with it? Do you want it just to be a better communicator? Do you want it to also help your acting career, which, by the way, it absolutely 100% does, and it 100% makes you a better actor. I've said that so many times because I believe it so strongly, that I'm a, million time better actor now, since I've been doing voiceover as well. And so I think that you really have to be clear with why you want to do this, right? Know what it is and know what that lifestyle might look like to you. And then in conjunction, well, what are your goals for it, right? So if you want to just go through your agent and just do it that way and do those, again, though, if you have a voiceover agent that's separate than a commercial agent, or if you might have them combined, you have to make sure that you allot that time. Okay. So it's really important to just get it clear. Now, again, this may change. You might have your goals change. I don't want anybody to feel like they're stuck in one thing, but to know, like, hey, I just want to make a few extra dollars, or I really want to make this a career. I really believe in this and I really am passionate about it and love it. Those are two different things, and those are two different approaches. So I really advise you to know that. Now, number 3, that comes into the investment. And again, I'm saying things hopefully that won't discourage you. I just want to let you know what it's like. I love this. I love this profession. Obviously, I'm wildly passionate about it. I've loved it to be doing this for this long, and still am doing it and loving it. Says a lot. But not everybody is like that. It was worth the investment for me. I knew right away that I was going to have to invest in a really good computer. This is going back when you were making your own demos. You were making your own CDs even, right? And printing on it, or you got them duplicated and then you gave those to agents, or you sent them into stations, or whatever it was that you did. I have a whole, story about that, because, that's what I did. I kind of did it all on my own. But I invested in it, and I invested in the microphones. I invested in the equipment. And I will say this again as well. You don't need to spend a lot of money right up front, but you do have to get enough to get you going and to learn your voice and to really, really engage in the whole business of voiceover. There's also the business aspect of it. Are you going to invest time in that to see what the trends are, to research maybe what's going on right now and what's hot and what's not, and what's the best agents to go to? Again, what preamp, there's just a lot that you invest in voiceover, and it's so much more than just like, hey, you know what? I have a good voice. I can just go into my phone, especially now, because right now I do think it's a wonderful time to learn voiceover, because obviously this is where we're at. And when you can't have the live productions, but also I think that's not going to go away for a while. Hopefully, knock on wood. No, it won't go away. It's a great thing. But that being said, you also have to be good at it. You have to be actually better at it now. I think, you just have to stay on top of things, because there's just people that are like, I'm lazily going to just do my audition into my phone and send it in. Not there's anything wrong with your phone, but if you've watched my other videos, either on my YouTube channel or, my website, or here on Backstage, you'll know how strongly I feel about your audition and how good you should make them to get cast, and, remember, there's no guarantee. It's just like acting, right? There's no guarantee on a return on your investment. Again, just like acting. But if you like acting, which I know most of you do, right? That's why you're here. That's why you're on Backstage. You love to act, probably, is the number one thing. You study these things because you love doing them. So in voiceover, it has to be the same thing. You have to love doing them. If you don't do this. It's really not worth it. I hope that you find, or you get a coach that will help you get really inspired about it. And that I know for me, I try to make it as fun as possible, like we are just gonna, have a good time. And I try to take every script as a little journey and really make it something special and something that I enjoy doing. So it's really important that you know that there's an investment involved in this. Okay, if you want to do this, and mostly it's going to be an investment in yourself, right? So the other thing that this comes, and this really dawned on me because I just think it's so funny, but it's worth mentioning. There's no immediate gratification. So for you actors again out there, right? The stage actors, which I am also, out there, and that immediate gratification of the applause or the this or the right after, there's none of that. And the ones that have worked on shows and the ones that have worked on movies, like me, sometimes, by the time these things come out, you're kind of like, I did do that. Yeah, that was a wonderful experience. It's the experience because you don't have immediate gratification, as opposed to performers, maybe like I also sing, that's like you get that applause right away, or you get this. So it matters to you what you need to feel creative and what you need to really keep you inspired to do this. So I want you to know there is absolutely no immediate gratification in this. As a matter of fact, a lot of times you don't even hear them. It's even less than you would when you do a commercial or something, right? Or an episodic or something like that, which you have to wait to get. And sometimes you get a copy of. I always say get copies of your voiceover as well if you can, with whoever you're working with. You can ask them that, but it's a really big thing to think of, right? So you are basically just sending it out in the world, and hopefully doing it is enough for you. Yes, you get paid, but again, swing back before, that shouldn't be your only reason. Again, it's just like acting. If you go into acting because you want to get rich, my whole family are professional musicians and actors. Don't do that. That is, you could get rich another way. If you go to acting because you love acting and you love telling a story and you love being creative, then great. This is a path for you. And voiceover is an extension of that. And it's something that I find very, very fulfilling and along those same lines, and just another way to express myself. So that brings me to another thing. Again, you're working alone. So there's a lot of aloneness as we're experiencing now, even more so. That's why my life hasn't changed that much, because I'm used to being alone, and I like being alone. I'm very social, but I like being alone. I don't mind working in that atmosphere. Do I love it when I'm on a movie and there's tons of people around as a team? Of course I do. But do I mind working by myself? I don't. I have to make my own decisions. I have to make my own directions. These are also things that bring me to the number 5 thing that you would need for a voiceover career, and that is confidence. The way that you get confidence, and confidence is so important. The way that you get confidence, I believe, is studying and really knowing your voice and getting used to your voice and used to your setup and used to where you're at. And I know for acting as well, if I didn't study, the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, if I didn't go to Europe and study for me and do these intensive things, I would not have had the confidence to keep going and think, I studied. Then I could say, you know what, I studied. I got this, right? When you're really nervous, before you go out on stage or you go out and they're shooting you or whatever, I got this. Or you get hired as voiceover and you go into a big studio and all eyes are on you. Time is money. There's people staring at you from across the window. Again, you're alone. And even now more so because, the window's over there, and there's your studio engineer. You have to have confidence. You have to walk in and know what you're doing. And you have to learn that before you do that. So I think that I hear a lot from some of my students, they're like, I don't like the sound of my voice. I said, we got to get you out of that, and I don't judge yourself so harshly, and don't judge your voice. That's not for you to say. Everybody has a unique style, a unique voice. If you saw my last video, that's what I was talking about. There's my webinar. By the way, get on my website, laurieburke.com, please. I keep forgetting to do this. And there'll be a thing that pops up to sign in. Sign in. I promise I won't send you a million useless things because I'm going to have more webinars and I'm going to have classes. I've been doing private coaching, but there's too much. I just don't have the time to do it for everybody, and I want to do it on a bigger scale. So I would like to do classes and things like that. So anyway, get on my website, laurieburke.com, and please just, it's probably in the description. I'm sure Katie put it in there, so that I can tell you when those are, and let you know. Anyway, so sorry, I said that before I would forget it. Going back to the confidence thing, the confidence thing is to take classes like that and study like that, so that you go, you know what I did? I do remember this. I am completely prepared. My biggest thing that I always say is it's not failure that I ever am afraid of. It's not being prepared. Right. So my hope is that what I help other people, other voiceover coaches or voiceover or also actors do, is just to be very prepared and very confident about what they're doing and learn to like their voice. You have to learn to be proud of your voice and what your voice can do. We could do so many magical things with it. Right. And at the end of the day, you are telling a story. And that's a gift. That is a gift to the people that write stories. Right. It's just like being an actor. You are telling their story and delivering it in a way that will make them happy and hopefully, also please the audiences and things like that. So really look at it. I'm a little bit more spiritual and metaphysical probably than most in this whole arena. I really look at voiceover as an art form, and I really look at it as telling a story and being creative and really letting yourself go and pouring yourself into it. So I just want you to be confident with yourself, and it is necessary. You can't get hired for something off it. Maybe you got a great demo for whatever reason, but then you got hired and you're like, I don't know, you get in there, you don't know what you're doing. That's, that would make my head pop off. So, I mean, as a coach, I would want you to go in and go, okay, and have a good time of it, and really be confident about yourself, be confident that you know what you're doing, and love it and enjoy the whole process of it and the journey of it. Okay. So, I tend to always run long and then I can't take questions. So I'm going to take questions now. So you guys just come on in. Here's one. I do not have a background in acting. I'm coming into this industry as a complete newbie looking for a creative outlet. Am I at a disadvantage compared to people with experience? You're not at a disadvantage, Nadia. Again, if you listen to what I said earlier, again, how much do you want to invest in it? And that includes time, your heart, your things like that, right? I think that I know the way that I coach is very acting based. It's all acting based. I think everything is connected. So you'll get that when you study voiceover, hopefully. It's not just reading. If anybody thinks that, you probably you shouldn't be tuning in, because that. I've said that a million times. It's not just reading. And I think, another thing is there's byproducts of voiceover. There's byproducts of learning how to use your voice. And that kind of went into like goals. Some people just want to be a better speaker. I've coached people that are CEOs, let's say, or they're giving presentations. They want to better communicate to people. Maybe now they're doing presentations online and they want to know how to more effectively use their voice, how to communicate their ideas a little bit clearer. And this helps in that. So maybe you're going to study and you're going to go, I don't really want to go down this avenue, but this is an avenue I want to go to. I want to read for the blind, which is a beautiful thing. That's a great thing to do. I want to be a better, live speaker. There could be a lot of things that come out of it. So I say, go and start studying it and see what you think of it. See if you like it. You're not at a disadvantage. You got to start sometime, my friends. My quote that I always have, it's on my Facebook, is it on my Instagram? It might be on my Instagram. Definitely on my website is, you're never too late to be, good. It's by George Eliot. It's never too late to be what you might have been. So, if not now, then when, right? Should headshots be professional pictures? Somebody wrote, yes, they should. That is for acting, not voiceover as much. But yes, they should. They should absolutely be professional pictures for your headshot, just like your demo should be professionally produced and sound the best to your voiceover demo to be the best representation of you. That's what you're presenting. You have a really small window. I also worked in casting, so I know this more than ever. You have a small window to impress somebody, and I've been in casting voice as well as on camera, and you have to put your best right out front. Okay. What is my opinion on Source Connect? Dive in and future proof your DAW now, or wait until you're asked if you have it. Andrew, that's a great question. I did go over that on another video. Again, you could go on my website, I think, or my YouTube, or it might also be on Backstage. Backstage is great, by the way. They have all these things on there. I think you could just type in my name and you could see some of my videos, I think. So, or Katie will probably give you a link down here. But Source Connect, for those of you that don't know what that is, it is a direct link to the studios, right? And more we're using that because, of course, we have our own home studios to do it. What I would say is make sure that your studio is set up at a very professional level, because they do ask that. They want to make sure that you have very good, isolation, and that your recording equipment is up to a certain standard, probably a large condenser mic and a preamp and this and that. That's number one. The Source Connect, I believe, is $35 a month. Most agents I know are saying, look, these are some of the auditions that you're getting are for Source Connect only, and it's the paid plan, not the other one. You're only going to use it if you do work with other, studios. That being said, you also have to learn how to use it. So I think they have a trial and things like that. So it's going to be up to you if you want to get it beforehand. You're not really going to use it until you get hired, or if you find your own client that's going to be at another studio. It's kind of where ISDN, people used to do ISDN. And now it's Source Connect, and it's easy, and I think it's easy once you get it set up. What is the best site to find character audition opportunities? Mimi, I would stay on Backstage. Backstage is great. Backstage has a lot of voiceover auditions, and you guys, they have these, where you can upload your demos, and you could, if they provide you a script, you could record the script and then send that in. I think Backstage is a great source of any voiceover. And you say character, but I don't know why you would just narrow it to just that. Is it advisable to try to find an agent for a novice? Deborah, I would think it would be better for you, for your time, to really build up your reel and build up your, and I don't know if you're talking about acting or voiceover or both, but it applies to both. The agent wants to know, hey, I've got something to show the client. Right? So an agent's not going to just represent you because they have a good feeling about you. I mean, maybe, but probably not. You're going to have to prove that you're good. Do you have a monologue? I mean, for acting, do you have a monologue that you can do on the spot, or like 3 or 7 is what we were taught? Do you have, for voiceover, do you have a really good demo? That's the first thing they're going to ask for, is show me your stuff. Show me what you got. If you have a great demo, but not a lot of experience, sometimes agents will take that and run with it. But if you don't have either of those, I would wait before you get an agent. That's just what I have to say. Yes, Backstage also has voiceover profiles now, just so you know. Read these comments. They're great. Somebody, I think it went up already, but somebody said about M Audio as a preamp. M Audio, that was my first preamp. I have Focus right now, which I love, but M Audio is a good, in my opinion, I always had a great experience with them. My voice is character, not corporate, Nini. I'm on Backstage and Voices, and just wondering if there were other places casting directors go to find talent. Really, that would be, if you're on those, so hopefully you're getting a lot of, Mimi, you're getting a lot of auditions, hopefully you already have a demo, I would think. I would start shopping agents then, probably. And, there are other places. If you look around, I think you're in the right spot that you're doing it on here. And you have I think you listed another, maybe a pay-to-play site. So you get a lot of experience that way. So keep going with that, and then maybe look for an agent. It matters. You kind of know when you kind of tap out. You're like, oh my God, I've been doing this for, I did it for years. I did, just audition after audition after audition after audition. And I'm so glad I did that, and that's, what I usually say for the pay-to-play sites. It's like, well, I don't know if I, as far as counting on it to book something I don't know for you, but definitely for the experience. If you look at it like a class, like I'm going to get a lot of experience auditioning, then that's a great thing to do. Mimi, yes, I do have demos and doing auditions. Great. So hopefully I answered your question on there, that there isn't. Are there any other, Edward? Hi, Edward. Are there any other required voiceover equipment besides a microphone, computer, lighting. Lighting is to see your script, basically, and soundproofing materials. Well, you're going to need, obviously, yeah, your studio that you're in, and that's going to be a good thing. So your microphone, right, computer, whatever it is that you're going into. Preamp, unless your microphone is a USB, which if you're moving on into the professional realm, you're going to want a preamp. Go look at on my YouTube channel. I think there's, I did a whole thing on that, I think, for microphones and things like that, and equipment. But you have most of it, Edward. Edward, you've been on here before, so thank you very much. Are there recommendations for type of content to have on a demo reel? Yes. Also, I did a video on that. You might want to look, again, it's either on my website or on my YouTube channel, Laurie Burke Productions, or it's also on Backstage. So look that up, and there's a whole video. I go on and on about what you need on your demo. Okay. Brett, thank you. Love your stuff. Love your stuff. Love your stuff. Thank you for watching. Let's see. And you said, what's a good recommendation for demo reel monologue scripts? Yeah. Okay. So hopefully if you're, Brett, if you're working with a coach, they provide you with tons of scripts. I know I do. I'm like, hey, here's this script. This script is good for you. This script isn't good for you. This is what I think you should work on. And this is the style. And they can pick that kind of thing. So it's really important that you have a right script for your demo. Really important that you have the right tone. So that is where I say, please, 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 study with a coach, take a class, or, you know, whatever. And again, get on my website, laurieburke.com. I actually only take like just a very few private clients, but students, but I'm going to be doing classes and things like that. So hopefully that'll be helpful. Just sign up. Please go to laurieburke.com, and a thing will pop right up. I put it right up to just put in your email, and then I'll send you stuff. But really, you should know what tones you're going for and what you need on your demo, and then kind of work it backwards to that and go and pick those kind of scripts. Again, I have thousands of scripts over the years, and when I work with my students, you know, I kind of get a good feel of like, okay, this is what you might sound really good for your voice, this type of tone and this type of thing, and then I go through and I find scripts. So you can read anything, you know, that's not going to be wasted, right? It's just practice, and it's practice. And I say, keep talking. I always say that. I sign off, keep talking, because I want you to just keep on going and get used to your voice and how you can use it and the different styles you can use it in. Okay. How do you find a voiceover coach that you think's right for you? Julia, hi. Again, I'm a coach. So, but I'll try to answer that in a way. Find somebody that resonates with you in the style you want to approach voiceover, right? There are other people, you know, I likened it to like, has anybody out there, you know, when you study like exercise, let's say you go to a boot camp, right? And that boot camp, people love that, no, go, go, go. And they're like that kind of thing. Da, 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 da. I'm not saying that a voiceover coach is going to go talk, 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 but there are different approaches to it that are more like very regimented like that, right? That doesn't work for me. Boot camps don't work for me where somebody yells at me. I'm more of the give me encouragement and I will give you everything, you know, give me some nice, you know, warm feelings about creating and more of the whole, you know, mind, body, voice experience. And I will, you know, give you everything. And hopefully that's what I do for my students, you know? And so my approach is very actor based and very, you know, kind of just create and have fun along the journey and do it because you love to do it sort of thing. There are other ones that are just like, hey, this is what it's going to be. This is how you're going to make the money. This is how you're going to do this. This is, you know, and I don't work that way. It's just not the way I have. So that's going to be an individual thing. And I say, look around and see. And again, that's going to be the same sort of coaches for classes or for private. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. You know, you learn from people that you really want to maybe either that inspire you or that you kind of like their career and you want to be like, or you want to follow their footsteps, or you kind of like the way that they are living their life or whatever. How deep you want to go into it is up to you. It's important to me who I've studied with. I've always chosen people that I really thought, yeah, I like the way they're doing it. I like the way that they're handling it. It's not very stressful. I like everything to be very, you know, very much a life balance sort of thing with all of our creativeness. right? And I'm a multi-creative, which most of you are too. And so that's very important to me, that you combine all of these into one so that it's all kind of flowing together. Again, San Francisco, I'm like a San Francisco hippie, but that's my style. And some people may not resonate with that and other people may. So good luck with that. I can take maybe one more, and then I will. I have to go because it's been half an hour. Somebody is saying Adobe Audition is the best tool to use. I couldn't see that, but Adobe's great for auditions. I also like GarageBand is what I started on and I used for years and years and years. And then I moved to Logic. My brother is a Logic Pro Master 3, I think. And you've heard me talk about him if you've been on one of these before with me. He's a great drummer, but he's also a composer and he knows everything about sound and studio. And so I've been lucky enough to have him to ask questions as well. So then when my students come to me, I'm like, you know what? You're not only going to get one, you're going to get two people that are going to weigh in on this, on what the best microphone going is right now, or what might be better for your voice or something like that, right? Because it's all unique. So my best advice for any DAW, which is basically the workspace that you're working on through your computer, if you don't know what that is the one that you can use easily and that you know how to use. So I studied on GarageBand and I stayed on GarageBand. I mean, I started on it, I studied it, I stayed on it for so long because it was so easy for me. Now I have Logic, but I can go back to GarageBand too because they were easy. And Logic was a lot is a lot like GarageBand, right? It's based on the same thing. So other people, when you go into a studio, a lot of times they have Pro Tools. But Adobe Audition, if you know how to use it, and other people use Audacity and things like that, some of my students use that, whatever works for you, that you can command the keyboard and know what brings out the best recordings for you. And you could do things maybe with the EQ and you could kind of understand it a little bit easy. GarageBand, I like it. So and Audacity, somebody else said that Audacity is fine too. Like I said, anything that works for you, you guys. Again, this is kind of my mindset. Like whatever works for you that's easy, don't try to force a square into a circle. Is that what they say? Circle into a square, whatever. Either way, don't do that. Go with the flow, use whatever you can that makes it easy and makes it fun. And so you don't stress out about it and you just have a really good time creating. Okay, so I'm going to have to go, but you guys have been great. Thank you so much for all your questions. Again, please go on my website, laurieburke.com, sign up, put your email in there so that it's, so I can, share some more information, on upcoming classes and things like that. And, webinars and more tips and things like that. I really appreciate it. I just kind of decided to put everything there. And my YouTube channel too, everything's listed below. Instagram, hit me up on Instagram. Love it. I'm always saying what I'm doing. And I love hearing from you guys and knowing that I want to thank you, everybody that has taken the time to write me unsolicited, like just really write me and just say, thank you that you've been liking these videos and that you've been getting stuff out of it and learning it. And if I can be somewhat inspiring to you, that just means, look, I'm tearing up. It means the world to me. So thank you so much. And hope you guys have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Thursday. And I'll see you next time. All right. I think I'll see you in a couple Thursdays. All right. See you then. Bye. Take care.